Okay, welcome everybody to the second part of the episode where Memo is going solo, talking about Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Guess who's drinking this ranch dressing soda? I said ranch weirdly. Unfortunately, it's me, as as y'all know, I predicted the Pacers to win the NBA Finals, and unfortunately, that is not what happened, as we all know. Um, I want to come in as positive as possible, but I feel like I can't. I am very disappointed, very heartbroken, even. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this has been a very emotional, frustrating few hours since the results of this game. Yeah, I am shocked. I am disappointed, and yeah, I feel robbed. I feel robbed because in this game we were destined to have an amazing Game 7 because this entire series has been amazing. Uh, whether you're an OKC fan or Indiana Pacers fan, I believe everybody before this game started would have predicted that this was going to be one of the greatest games we've ever seen in our life, just based off of how amazing this series is, or series has been, or series was, I guess, since it's now all over. You know, we started the series with a Tyrese Haliburton game winner. We have had several close games, several comebacks. We've even a blowout switch. It's not fun to watch, but when since I was rooting for the Pacers, uh, I was definitely happy seeing them blow out the Thunder in Game 6. So this series had it all. It was super entertaining, super fun. And, whether the Pacers or Thunder won this game, we all knew the best team was gonna win, no matter what. But I feel like we did not get that today. We did not get that. I think we were robbed. We were robbed from one of the greatest NBA Finals results of all time. And I'm not just saying this because the Pacers lost. Because at the end of the day, look, I'm a Lakers fan, right? I truly didn't have a horse in this race. So, Hoops and I made a little wager. We were trying to have fun with this entertaining series, right? So even though I wanted the Pacers to win, I knew from the beginning of the season, before the beginning of the season, that the Thunder were going to win this championship. That was my big prediction before the season began. I ended up being correct, yet I feel utterly, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. I feel so disappointed right now because this was not supposed to happen. I feel like I've been beating around the bush. Let's actually talk about it. So basically, the reason why I feel like we were all robbed from a perfect Game 7 scenario, was because with 5 minutes left in the first quarter, Tyrese Haliburton tore his Achilles, and that was it for him. Even though he started off on fire, he made 3 of his 4 threes. He had 9 points. That was the most, or second most amount of points he had in the first quarter in the playoffs. Just off of those 7 minutes alone, you would have thought that we were going to have a major, incredible game from Tyrese, and this was going to be a battle, through and through heavyweight battle. But then he got injured, and all morale was gone for me personally. For the Pacers themselves, they held it together pretty well for the most part, at least for the first half. In the first half, they were winning. They were winning by 1 point, but still, the best player on their team is gone, is injured in the most depressing way possible. Yet they were still in it. And then the third quarter happened. Although TJ McConnell tried his best, shout out to TJ McConnell. I feel so bad for him because that man gave it his all, especially in the third quarter. He ended up having 12 of the last points for the Pacers in the third quarter, all by himself. He was the only guy that was able to generate shots for himself in that latter stretch of the third quarter, which was not enough because that is when OKC started to blow up the lead a little bit. And then the fourth quarter came and OKC just continued to dominate, even though Benedict Mathurin also gave it his all in the fourth quarter, hitting his free throws, which was not the story in, what was it, Game 3? Or Game 4? I don't remember. Because, yeah, the big reason why the Pacers lost that game is because he didn't make his free throws. But he went 10 for 10 from the line in this game. He had 24 points. Shout out to Benedict Mathurin. He had 16 points in the fourth quarter, 6 rebounds. Like, he gave it his all. TJ McConnell gave it his all. Pascal Siakam, for some reason, wasn't playing as much. I don't know why Rick Carlisle benched him at points where, like, he should have gone in. Like, I believe the Pacers cut it to 4 instead of putting Siakam back in or whatever. He was on the bench, so that was really weird. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, like, the Pacers fought and fought and fought. That's all they did throughout this entire incredible playoff run. They just kept fighting and beating the odds. And, you know, if this was a Disney movie, they would have hit a game winner and won the NBA champions against all odds, and this would have been the greatest NBA Finals run of all time. Like, I tweeted this after Tyrese got injured, but if they were able to pull off this win with him injured, I think this would have been a better Finals run than the Dirk run, even though that was an incredible run. So much respect for Dirk and the Mavericks for being able to pull that off. But I think this Pacers run would have been even better, seeing that their best player was injured and they still were able to cut a lead and come back and win the game. It would have been a storytale ending. Unfortunately, we did not get that. Unfortunately, these aren't Disney characters. They're not fictional characters. They're not superheroes. At the end of the day, these are just talented human beings. And human beings do get injured. So, unfortunately, Tyrese did tear his Achilles. And a big reason why they ended up losing this game was because he wasn't out there. Because I'm sure the offense would have been so much better for the Pacers if he was in the game. You know, TJ McConnell, again, gave it his all. Did everything he could. And as great of a point guard DJ is, he's not the same playmaker as Tyrese. Tyrese is definitely the better playmaker. And he would have got shots for the other Pacers. The Pacers struggled scoring. Again, like, TJ McConnell was the only person scoring for like 8 minutes straight. It was just him. Surprisingly, like, the smallest man on the court making the biggest plays on the court for the Pacers. Unfortunately, like, Miles Turner had a rough game. He had a rough series offensively, unfortunately. Aaron Nesmith only had 3 points. Let's see, Obi Toppin, 0 points. 0 for 4 from the field, man. Like, what's going on? Like, this, I don't think this would have happened if Tyrese was playing. Tyrese would have got other scoring, or he would have been draining his own shots, because clearly he was ready. He was ready for Game 7. But the basketball gods robbed us from truly knowing who was the better team. Like, on paper, the Thunder are the better team on paper, right? Nobody thought this series would go to a Game 7. A lot of people thought this was going to be a sweep for the Thunder. You know, there was people thinking it was crazy to think my prediction of OKC winning in 6 was a reasonable take. You know, a lot of people were saying OKC in 4, OKC in 5. Even I said, like, within the TikTok I made before the series started, that I thought the true question between predicting Indiana versus Oklahoma isn't who's going to win the NBA Finals. My main question was, how many games will it take for OKC to win the NBA Finals? That's how certain I was of OKC winning it all. But the Pacers kept proving everybody wrong. Since the beginning, since game 1, they proved everybody wrong. And the fact that they took it to game 7 just proved that OKC wasn't the dominant force that we all thought they were. I mean, that thought kind of got shattered against the Nuggets. But the fact that the Pacers were able to take them to 7 makes it seem like, you know, maybe the Thunder wouldn't have won the championship if Tyrese was healthy. Like, maybe there was a good chance that the Pacers were going to win the NBA championship. It wasn't going to be an OKC landslide, clearly, since it took them 7 games to beat the Pacers. So I feel like the NBA, the basketball gods, robbed us from truly knowing who was the better team, the Thunder or the Pacers. Because just watching the Pacers play, they proved that they could beat any team that you threw at them. And, you know, it's just one game. Game 7 is just one game. The Pacers could have won. The Pacers could have won if Tyrese was there. But now we don't know who's the better team, in my opinion. Like, obviously, Thunder won. Congrats to them. Happy for them and their franchise. And I hope the Thunder fans watching this don't feel like I'm hating, because I'm not. I am not an OKC hater. Like, I have my issues, like with the fouls from Dort. Sometimes got annoying. Sometimes the way Shea plays is annoying. Not even the foul things, just the push off. He does that way too often. Way too often. But, like, again, I'm not a Thunder hater like that. My prediction, they ended up helping me out and making my prediction correct. So I should be happy that they won. But again, I feel like we were robbed from truly knowing who was the 2025 NBA champion. I truly believe that if Tyrese wasn't injured, then we would have truly knew who was the better team, Thunder or Pacers. But because of his injury, it's hard for me to say that the Thunder were straight up the best team out of these two. It's hard for me to believe that. Yeah, they are NBA champions. No one can take that from them. But still, it's like, I'm not trying to say that, like, this chip doesn't mean anything. I kind of hate that. Obviously, I'm a Lakers fan. A lot of people say that about the 2020 ring, even though, like, it's such a stupid argument. It's so stupid. You gotta be a casual to think the 2020 chip doesn't count. But, man, seeing that this is how this amazing series ends is disappointing. Very disappointing. So, yeah, I'm not happy about this at all. But shout out to the Thunder. You know, they did what they needed to do in order to get the chip. So congrats to them. You know, not the most efficient game from Shea, who ended up being Finals MVP. So very impressive season for him. Regular season MVP, Western Conference Finals MVP, and now Finals MVP. He won 3 MVP awards this year. He could have won another if they beat the Bucks in the in-season tournament. That would have been a crazy streak. 4 MVP trophies in a year. That would have been crazy. But 3 is already insane. But yeah, he had 29 points, 5 rebounds, 12 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 8 from 27 from the field. So that's not good. That's pretty bad. J-Dub also had a pretty inefficient game. 20 points, 7 for 20 from the field, 2 for 7 from 3. Shea was 2 for 12, even worse. He did have 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Chet had an amazing game. He truly did. He's been streaky throughout this series, but he ended things on a great note. 18 points for him from 6 for 8 for him. He made a 3. He 1 for 2 from 3. He was struggling from 3 for most of the series. Had 8 rebounds, 1 steal, and 5 blocks. His defense was killer in the second half. Really good defense from Chet Holmgren. So congrats to him and the entire Thunder for getting this win. Lou Dort had 9 points, 2 threes for him, 10 points for Caruso, the bald eagle. I'm happy that former Laker Caruso was able to win a chip. I hope the narratives of the Bulls winning the Giddy Caruso trade will end after this. It should have been over. But a lot of people were trying to convince others that the Bulls won that trade. That's insane. But yeah, the Thunder defense was crazy. They caused Indiana to have 23 turnovers. This led to 32 points off of turnovers for Oklahoma. So that was definitely a big reason why they won Game 7. Great defense. Even though not the best shooting night for them. 40% from the field, but, Pacers were close to that as well. 27.5 from 3. Kind of crazy that the team that ended up winning the NBA championship didn't really shoot well from 3 throughout the entire finals. Probably the entire playoffs as well, now thinking about it. They did not shoot well at all from 3. Yet they were still able to win the title. So that's impressive. They were able to win games while shooting 20% from 3. So yeah, that's impressive. That's definitely very impressive. So yeah, although I've been complaining, I've been whining, I've been bitching this whole episode, I feel like. I do not want to take away the fact that this is still a great win for OKC, and I am happy for OKC and their fans for being able to pull this off and truly win their first championship. Like, yeah, they have the Seattle titles, but nobody really counts it, especially since rumor on the street is that Seattle is getting their Sonics back, but who knows? Who knows if that's ever going to happen? But, this is the first championship inside of Oklahoma, basically, inside the state for this team. So, good for them, happy for them. But yeah, I'm just still very disappointed, man. Just seeing Tyrese Haliburton cry on the floor after getting injured was heartbreaking, dude. That got me, man. That really did. I couldn't tell if he was crying because of the pain or crying because he knew his season was over. He knew that he couldn't continue playing, and couldn't play in the most important game of his life. That was heartbreaking. Seeing TJ McConnell crying, going to the tunnel, and seeing his mom trying to help him out, even trying to get the cameraman away by blocking the camera. Shout out to the mom, dude. She really wanted to help out her son there during a difficult time. It's that got me, dude. This is what it's all about. I know it's a game, but seeing these guys put it all out there for a trophy might seem silly, but it's basketball. It's basketball. They made their whole lives around basketball. Of course they're gonna care. Of course they're gonna cry. I wanted to cry. I'm not an NBA player. I couldn't even make my high school high school basketball team. Yeah, I cared. I understood. I understood why they'd be distraught, why they'd be crying. They put everything they had in them into this game for this very moment. That, some players are lucky and are able to come back. Some players aren't. Some players aren't as lucky and never come back. And I hope that doesn't happen with this Pacers team. The East seems more wide open than ever before. So if the Pacers... So this is... If things go right in the offseason, I could see them coming back into the finals next year, depending on what happens in the offseason, obviously. And with that Tyrese injury, that's what's going to make things tricky, actually. Like his timetable, it's not gonna be good. He might miss the entire season, or most of the entire season. So, now thinking about it, that puts a wrench into everything. But hopefully one day this team comes back and win it. I hope Tyrese wins a championship with the Pacers. I'm a Lakers fan, but I've never been so invested in a team that's not the Lakers. And I've never been so heartbroken watching a game. Like, I've seen my Lakers lose to game winners from the regular season, from the playoffs. I've seen them get swept. I've seen them get their ass whooped by a Serbian chubby dude. Nikola Jokic just whooping our ass. I see them get knocked out of the playoffs. But I don't think I've ever been this devastated like I am right now. I'm not even a Pacers fan. I don't know how Pacers fans are feeling right now. Because this is one of the most incredible runs in NBA history. And just for it to end like this is a tragedy. It's truly a tragedy. It's one of the biggest NBA what-ifs of all time. What if Tyrese Haliburton didn't get injured in the finals? What if he was able to play in Game 7 of the NBA Finals? Was the Pacers supposed to win this one? Was OKC supposed to win it all along? We don't know. We don't know, and we will never know, and that's why I am so frustrated. Because we'll never know. There's a lot of things we don't know. What if Brandon Roy didn't get injured? What if Derrick Rose didn't get injured? What if Shaq and Kobe never split up? This game, this injury is within those realms. What if Tyrese never got injured in Game 7 of the NBA Finals? What if? It's going to go down as one of the biggest mysteries in NBA history. And yeah, it's so heartbreaking seeing how this game ends. But again, although, watching basketball is entertainment, it's not fiction. It's not the Disney movie. It's not the storybook ending. It's real, with real people. And unfortunately, stuff like this happen. Injuries happen. It's part of basketball. So, we'll never know. We'll never know who truly was supposed to win these finals. But, yeah. The Oklahoma City Thunder are NBA champions. Congrats to them. Congrats to the entire state of Oklahoma. You guys might be 50th in education, but you are number 1 in the NBA, at least for this season. So congrats. I'm sorry. That was such an asshole thing to say, but I just thought of that. But yeah, shout out to OKC fans. Definitely one of the best fan bases in the NBA. Like, you guys might get mad at me and roast me due to my takes in this episode, but they are truly one of the best fans for a long time. It's not just this season. It's not like a bunch of bandwagon fans. There's been a lot of long time OKC fans that have been waiting for this moment. So I am sorry if my takes took away from such a happy moment for you guys. But how I'm feeling is just how I'm feeling at the moment. But at the end of the day, OKC did win the championship. They should be proud. They should be happy. They should be celebrating. And I hope that everybody who was rooting for the Thunder are happy right now and having a good time and are prepping for the parade. I'm sure that'll be fun. I wish the Lakers got their parade in 2020. How unfortunate. That would have been my first parade because I was so young watching Kobe win back-to-back championships with Powell in the early 2010s, late 2000s, 2009, 2010. So it would have been cool to see a parade in my lifetime. So if you OKC fans can go to the parade, have some fun, because your team won. You guys deserve to have some fun, even though a lot of us are upset. But yeah, I'll try. Let's end it here.